This Lent, Caritas is calling all people to join us on a journey of dedicated action as we work together to rebuild a society which, as Pope Francis called us to do in Fratelli Tutti, lives as a single human family. But what does this really mean? And what can we do to make it happen?
Well, living as a single human family means putting our faith into action and bringing people who are on the margins closer to ourselves and to the center of our communities. This means reaching out to them, making space for them, and making sure that they're visible and that their voices are being heard. We have to put into practice our call to love without exception.
That might feel like quite a big challenge, but we must remember that no matter how bleak or difficult the situation may be, with the gift of faith and through God's unconditional love, we can find the strength to keep going.
And there's lots of people who we can look to for inspiration to keep us inspired and motivated. For example, in his Lenten message this year, Pope Francis talks about St. Paul and reminds us about what he said to the Galatians. Let's not grow tired of doing good, for in due time we will reap our harvest if we do not give up. So then, while we have the opportunity, let us do good to all.
Lent, a time for reflection, is also a season of conversion. So, firstly, when we are reflecting, we can open ourselves to the inspiration of the Holy Spirit and creatively imagine the sort of world we want to build for ourselves and for generations to come.
Is this a world in which peace is more than just an absence of war?
Is this a world in which the poorest can access adequate healthcare?
Is this the world in which women enjoy equal opportunities?
Is this a world in which young people's voices are heard and respected?
And is this a world in which we live together in communities of care?
Secondly, when it comes to taking action, this Lent, rather than simply giving something up, we invite you to consider taking something up and committing to a simple action each day to grow closer to God, nurture personal and spiritual renewal, and build communities characterized by care and hope.
In each week of Lent, we invite you to take up 5 calls to action. We'd love for you to reflect on these and to find ways to bring them to life through one simple action each day. You'll find full descriptions of these and a few ideas to get you started on the Caritas.org website.
Build a world of peace, starting in your own community.
So, for example, have a conversation with someone who you know has a different opinion than you about a certain topic. Listen to each other and see if you can find some common ground.
Help to build a post-COVID world that is just for all.
Do you know someone who's isolated? Give them a call or visit them to ask if they need help accessing anything, or even if they'd just like to chat.
Ensure the equal participation of women in your community.
Why don't you ask a woman in your community how she thinks your community can be improved?
Make space for youth to drive positive change.
Ask a young person what their hopes are for the future and take the time to really listen to them.
Care for our common home by joining forces with others in a community of care.
Gather a group of friends together and together work to clean up a section of your community.
As the world continues to heal and emerge from the COVID-19 pandemic, this Lent is an opportune time to sow seeds of hope in the hearts and minds of all people.
So let's keep our eyes pointed ahead and never forget that it is possible for each of us to build a world of justice when we add up the simple actions that we take every day.